So today's about ask questions to this major panel of over 100 million. Yeah. So just awesome. So here's what I'll say to you. I know. What I love is just stay healthy. Really, really. So it wasn't not a great year. It's about a great year. Really well. We're going to ask questions. Have our zero agent. My question is kind of here's the question. You don't have to give an exact arms. Birthday, client application, seminars you do it for. What is that? This is an office agent working on 201. So there's times where all the markets can be so by the way, just to maybe the same. So Jill, tell us a little bit about you.
To our database. So we database and some of this will have people in the database that its name is so we can do styles between the stages.
Angelica, so database. How many people?
you have reference for that person. If the person buy the house 2 months ago, 1 year ago, he reference. My most contact from reference, 80%.
Wow, so you have 5,000,
Uh-huh.
you contact 100 a day, is that what I heard?
Yeah, every day I need to call, not me, not my person. I have the person call every day,
You have to-
100 person,
Right.
100 people.
You know, it's interesting, there's a class that we have, and you'll get to know that more, a little bit more as you're on this journey with us, called Bold, and we teach that.
Yes, yes, we have, each year, we have 2 class, master class, when another, buyer coming in this class, and we have, for example, March 21st, no, 25th, we have the master class when the lenders, we are approved for buyer. And this is interesting because maybe that person is not ready for close today, or maybe we can close in 3 months. But you need to follow every day for that person.
That's what the goal is, follow up, I mean, this
And
guy
follow.
here, yeah. So I'm gonna start back at that end and ask another question and get ready for ahas. What is your goal for, we can do volume or GCI, whichever one you feel comfortable for 2023?
Okay, my goal in this year, 2023, is double my GCI. Last year, my volume was $29 million, and this year, my goal is
To do 60 million.
$66 million. This is my goal. This year.
Yeah, I like that.
Me too. Me too.
And by the way, she gave us 126,000 in GCI last month. We're an open book company, and she don't pay us to beat that this month, by the way, just to let everybody know. She's on her goal. I know it's 2.4 million in GCI. Think about these. All right, thank you. And Delta,
I think not in GCI, I'm thinking units,
okay,
and my goal is for myself, 100 units, and for my teams, 250.
so that's 250 total units.
No,
100 for you and 150 for the team?
yes,
So that would be 250 or 150 total?
no, 250 total.
Okay, so anybody come, okay, 250 units total. If anybody would do, take their calculator out, average sales price in this office is 500, but I'm gonna give you 400. It's gonna be your average sales price. Is that fair? So if you pay 250 times 12,000. Can somebody give me that number?
million.
How much?
3 million.
Okay, yeah. Thanks. Matter of fact, you're the first, I'm gonna give you the first. quote. Yeah, congratulations, thank you for that. So 3 million. Also, I want to thank David because he brought me books. I can't take credit for it. I was going to, but I can't. So 3 million. It looks like you don't want her to beat you.
Well,
You have work to do. She's gonna.
yeah, but. Never. No.
I love y'all. Y'all are great. Y'all are great. All right, Kim.
My goal's a little different. Hannah, my partner back there, is sitting back there, and my goal is for her to make over 100. So whatever that takes,
She will make over 100.
she will.
So you don't have a.
It would only be 35 million to get her there, so we did that last year, so we think, I mean, we want to go higher.
Yeah, you can do.
My current goal is 40. Oh, 40, that's our goal.
By the way, Kim, your previous company was Coldwell Banker, is that correct?
Yes, it was.
And you were doing about 6 million. I met you on a Friday in the rain.
In my mother's car,
Yeah.
yeah.
And look what you're doing
You
today.
had to come out to the car, because I didn't want anybody to see me.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
It's been a great choice, for sure, to move.
For us, for sure. David,
With what we've got working in the pipeline right now, hopefully we're going to get to 35 to 40 million this year.
wow. Anybody in this room been with David since day one?
You can do it, David.
Yeah. It is fun to see like the evolution of how he's just grown Tell you what he closed last month, right?
So, and that's a combination of commercial and residential.
Yeah. What's the name for you? They put them both together now.
No, it does not apply to me. I pay my dues in KW commercial, I'm a member of ACBR, that does not apply to me.
Yeah. I love it. So give me some aha right now before we move on. I'm gonna let everybody ask questions. Okay, so how we participate.
A lot of
in-
the master class for buyers and lenders.
Yeah.
People in the room with you and showing them your expertise. And filling that pipeline.
Right. Love that, love that.
The separate, how in your database, you separate the neighborhoods that you're farming, you know, I mean, that's so obvious, but
And
Yeah,
it may be custom to that neighborhood or, you know, the fields where I am, they're all kind of the same. So I know I can fit all of them, but maybe Peachtree Station has a little bit different spin on it. It just depends on the neighborhood. So we customize it to the neighborhood.
You know, with the farming side of it, you have to get more specific to the development that you're looking at. Like what I've done is I've made it to where I'm the social chairman for my building. So I've already set all the social events for the year and I'm the sponsor for all of them. So I've already said it to the property managers, they know the dates, everything's already set. But that's something totally different than I would do for my overall database. You know, in fact, we're sending out like the Braves schedule to our overall database, where we sent the United schedule, because I know there's a ton of United fans in my building. We sent the United schedule out to the residents, you know, in doing that.
That's a good point. I'm on the HOA, the board of our club, so that includes all the neighborhoods. And I called them and got my logo on the swim caps for the swim team. So I'm pretty pumped about that.
And you see, what's funny is that Tom Ellicott, who was one of the owners of Palmer House, he controlled a building called the Lux in Midtown. And I looked one year, there were 16 listings in that building, he had 14 of them. So I called him and asked him, you know, I'm moving in this building, how do you know, get business out of it, such as that? And he literally said to me, it's like, be the social chairman, do not get on the HOA. Because
The HOA is back.
fun stuff, not delivering the assessment increase, you know, stuff like that. So, because he asked me every year to be on the HOA, and I said no, that's in the nicest way possible.
That's brilliant. I didn't think-
Yeah, so, I mean, I moved in and for lack of a better word, I wheedled my way onto the social committee and then became social chairman the next year. And I mean, I've said this before and stuff, my goal was to earn enough living in the building to pay for living in the building. And I've every past, even through the pandemic, I've either earned 50% more, double the amount of what it costs to live in the building.
So would it be fair to say you dominate the market?
Yeah, we do 16% of the transactions in the building and twice as much as our next competitor, which actually is Jason Moore, who's very big out of Boise County.
Here's my aha. I'm over here asking people to sign up for 201, put 201 in their database.
Yeah.
And then I'm saying to you, it's going to net you somewhere around 120,000. Did you notice these are your peers that start off every month at zero like you, that they're not playing in that arena. So my aha was don't play in 201. You've got to, I heard I'll be 1,000 plus. And then you've got them strategically who they are, or if it's a 1,400, I'm saying it's 700 because I do know husbands and wives.
Yeah.
That's my aha.
And I have a question. Raise your hand if you're from another city. Like if you moved here from another city. Anybody? Nobody. Yeah, another city. So you have a great opportunity, and I know Enrique touched on this, to go back to that city where your people are and start a database for that. And you reach out to your people and say, if you know anybody moving to Atlanta, pass my name along, send them some little gift cards, send them stuff that's going to remind you. And then on that, if they hear of anybody moving, you can refer them, because people genuinely want to help you, especially people that love you. So they'll tell you, hey, so-and-so's moving from Nashville to Chicago, and I thought about you because you keep telling me that, and I love you, so I want you to get that referral fee. So go back to your roots as well and work that market, because there's all kinds of ways to get in and out of there. It does, your database doesn't have to be necessarily where you are.
Oh, no, and the other part I would put to it, about 40, I want to say about 40 to maybe, I have to look back in the numbers, maybe 50% of our business is actually agent to agent referrals. So, one of the cool things about KW, and it's, I'll tell you a story of what happened last night, is that we have 170,000 agents throughout the country that you can work with. I do deals with people from Los Angeles, Chicago, Minneapolis, people of that sort. And what I'm doing right now, which I don't know why I didn't think of it before, but I started at the beginning of this year, I've started building a Google Drive spreadsheet of agents throughout the country. And y'all probably got it yesterday, the Chattahoochee North version of where I sent out a newsletter. Well, there's a different version that goes out that's based on residential and commercial to about, at this point, around 500 agents nationally through the system. And then I'm building, then there's one on the commercial side that goes out to you guys. And then there's another one. How many of y'all get open houses weekend here that with Atlanta people? I'm pulling those names in and sending them the commercial version also. So there's this whole other breadth of business that you can get from doing that. And I've built a network up to where other agents in the country, if they see something for Atlanta, they'll text me and let me know so I can get in touch with that agent.
I'll tell you this, and there's a cool, I'm trying to think on social media, there's like real estate agent mastermind or something that has nothing to do with KW. It's just like, and when you see, like, I'll see, I do a commercial agent in Atlanta, and somebody will say, Dave McEachern, and you go over them. And that's a good feeling. That tells me that you are networking outside of your zip code.
This is what I want to go back to on the KW thing. There was an agent who was with KW for years in Athens, and I'm friends with him. He moved over to Cocorin, which I have no idea why they have an office in Athens. But anyhow, he came back to me last night asking me who I knew in Savannah for a referral, because he had no longer had access to the KW database to be able to find agents there. That's part of the power of what KW can allow for you to do that. I love that.
So, Steph,
So as far as your database, 2 questions. 1, how long did it take you to build up that database? And 2, what do you have in place? What systems do you have in place to ensure that you're continuing to grow that?
Okay. My database was 8 years ago, and I use different. I use social media, masterclass. I use referral. I use referral to buyers, referral to sellers. It depends. But in my opinion, if you can call 100 people each day, your database will be increased. But if only you can call every day 20 people, your database increase, but not too long. This is my opinion.
I started with my Christmas card list and built off that. And I have a worksheet that I give out in my class that has the alphabet down the left side. It's very simple. And you go A and do occupations that start with A, and then B, occupations that start with B. Do the whole alphabet, then go back to those occupations and think of people that you know that do that. And that will get you at least another couple hundred people. Your banker, your vet, your car salesman, think about and do the alphabet. And if you're new, that is such a simple way to get a whole bunch of people going in your mind.
Yeah. I mean, for myself, I started literally like if I moved here from Houston when I started real estate. For those of you know my story, and it's just been a buildup over time of customers. Such mine's a lot of it's networking, a lot of it is going to family reunion, going to mega camp, getting cards there, and building. So mine's a mixture of actual, let's call them civilians, people out there, and then people in the business also, because you just never know where those connections come from. But and you're going to hear this thread, I think, through today's conversation, is through all four of us is the consistency of doing it all the
Yeah.
time. It isn't a spike system whatsoever. If you went back, I know at least with Kim and I, if you go back and look on the Moore reports and the numbers, because I'm a number geek, you will see the consistency of the business, not only on an annualized basis, but on a monthly basis. You don't see this gigantic dip that occurs in January and February because there's consistent work going on. That's where you build your practice. It's not like, oh, it's December, I'm tired, I quit. Because it will bite you in the rear end for the first quarter of the next year.
Yeah, December is our biggest marketing month because we're not selling as much.
Yeah, there's still stuff to do. There's still stuff to get up every morning and do.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that every month is gonna be consistent sales, but you're gonna have greater consistency, in doing
In
it.
my opinion, you need to make discipline every day. If you have another people or another person make the call, you need review. Hey, how many calls do you have this week? If you need review, because every day you need to make 100 calls. This is the goal.
One of the things I say is, and they laugh at me, if you want to make a 40-hour-a-week salary, like if
Yeah.
you were in an office, guess
Yeah.
what? You have to work 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
There's no shortcut. You
Yeah,
have to put in the hours.
Yeah.
If you want to make an 80-hour-a-week salary and work 80 hours, you will. It's all relative.
yeah, there's a story that I know a lot of y'all have heard me say before, but Denise Buchanan used to be the TL at Roswell and most recently in Midtown. This was maybe 6 months right before the market fell apart in 2008, but she was teaching a class right here in this spot, and she said, if you work for IBM and wanted in earning $250,000 a year, you better believe your rear end would be in the office at 7:30 in the morning, probably until 6 o'clock that evening. That's to find that $250,000 salary. What in the world makes you think that if you want to earn $250,000 in real estate, you're not going to have to do the same thing? And on top of it, deliver world-class service to the clients to get that.
And for me, I think everybody needs something to click on. For me, the most, exploding thing in my business has been social media. And I started to do videos and videos and videos, and a lot of people start to see me, and not just buyers and sellers, agents too, brokers too, and everybody starts to contact me, and I say, okay, first I start with my circle, and I see my phone, and I start to call everybody, but I realized for me, the most easy way to connect to everybody, it was social media, and the people who see me start to come to me, and I keep following them up, because maybe at that time, at the beginning, it just was, I don't know, 20 a week, 30 a week, and it starts to grow and grow and grow. And the most important is consistency. When you are in the mind of the people, they start to thinking you and you and you, and someone says something you said in your videos or your social media or just real estate, they will think about you because they see you every single time. And it happened a lot to me and Emily, who is there. She's my best friend and my right hand. She's with me and we are in everywhere and people come to me, are you Angelica, the real estate agent? And I go like, yeah. You can find what fits for you. Maybe it's the calls, and I do calls, of course, but we have to follow up. But maybe it's cards, maybe it's events, or maybe it's another thing, or all of that together. But you have to see and keep looking what this fits for you. And when you find it, be consistent. And that will be.
Yeah, you'll know that your social media is working is that when you're around people that may be following you and they don't always like it. Or know this, just because they don't like something doesn't mean they're not seeing something.
Mm-hmm.
And videos, you get a lot more looks and such that you can see. But when you're out and somebody who's following you, everything makes a comment on your social media without you engaging, the commentary about social media, you're starting to have an impact. When,
Yeah, but
That
depends what is the focus in your buyer or seller. Because the social media has different people, maybe the master class is different people. What is your focus? If your focus is, for example, luxury home, that is not the correct way. You need first, what is your focus? My focus is, for example, 500. The buyers or the seller, I need to plan what is my focus.
Yeah.
Because social media have buyers and listings, but different target. The target is until maybe $600,000, but you need luxury. This is not the correct way. This is my.
Well, here's what I'll say too, and I use this phrase all the time, and even in my own personal.
Mhm.
Your net worth equals your net worth.
Yes.
And I have that, so when I'm talking, when I hear 201, I'm like,
Mhm.
and then I hear you guys, I mean, you're all different, that's why I go to this panel, you're different, how you do it, but you all have a common goal, right? And a very, very big goal,
Yeah, I think
and
that's-
consistency.
Yeah.
Hearing you.
I had an odd to sit here listening. Lilibeth, all of you are doing this, but specifically something Lilibeth said about, your 100 contacts per day. In that book that's sitting on the table, James Clear said, we don't rise to our goals, we fall to the level of our habits.
Nice.
And her habit, he said, change your habits, you can change your life.
Mhm.
Lilibeth's habit is call 100 people a day. A lot of us think like what needs to change is the amount of money in our bank account or the number we see on the scale. That's not what needs to change. What needs to change is the habit that precedes that outcome.
Yes.
Right? So, yeah, that was my
I love that. And
I know.
I don't make calls ever, not once. I can't stand cold calls. I don't want to be rejected. I don't want them not to like me. And so I do 100 of those a day. And you can do that as well. And it's very personal. Social media is great, but you're reaching out to that person and you can send 100 text messages as well. You can get 5 off in a red light. Telling you. Be careful.
So.
You have to find what fits for you.
Right.
If you feel comfortable, if you start to attract people. If you feel uncomfortable, even if you do everything what everybody say and you are uncomfortable with that, you're not gonna attract anybody.
You're not.
Yeah, because you're eventually gonna stop doing it,
Right.
number one.
Exactly.
And that's the cool thing about real estate. Everyone can have, every single person in this room has a different type of business
Yeah.
from everyone else. There could be rhymes and such that are connect to it, but there's 2 or 3 consistent threads that'll be in everyone's business who wants to be a mega agent, let's say. One is the word that we've said already a number of times is consistency.
Consistent.
Number 2 is determination or perseverance. And number 3 is high levels of service to the client. That's the basic skeleton structure that you have in your practice. You can put whatever skin you want on it. Be it you want to do new home development, do you want to do commercial, do you want to do high-end luxury, all those types of things. But those 3 DNA items have to be in there on a daily basis, and those habits have to be there to be able to build it. Otherwise, you're not going to achieve it.
Everybody's sitting in this room because they know they're capable of more. They're coming to hear like, how are these agents doing it? And what I hope you're hearing and listen, what I'm trusting you're hearing in this is you have to participate in your own rescue. Meaning if you're sitting here saying, I'm not making the money I need to make, I'm not getting the results that I desire, you have to participate in your own rescue. You have to pick up the phone or make the post or do the text messages, not at the stoplight, or
Starbucks line.
Yeah.
And one thing too, you guys, like, it is how it works for you. And one, Rick Payne knows this. One of my very primitive ways of doing these text messages is a note card box, literally going back to 1974 and getting a box of note cards. And I put David and his cell number and on each note card. And every time I get a new client, David McEachern, I put his number in. And I will start at the front of that note card box and text David. And once I've texted him, I put it in the back, and then I text the next person, however many I get off that day. And that person's gonna cycle back around. Very primitive way to do it, but if you're not techie, it doesn't matter how you do it, right? You
do it.
texted those 100 people by doing your note card box, and that's another way to do it. Yes, I
Yeah.
know you're dying.
No, I mean, before I can get control, Angelica, then I'm gonna go to Allison.
Thing I feel we have, even especially when we are tired, we have to seriously overcome the fear to be rejected, because we are going to be rejected many times.
Oh, yeah.
But if you keep doing what you're doing and believing in yourself, you're going to achieve it.
Yeah.
I think Carrie-
Allison, and then I'm gonna Carrie.
I know it's a short text, but give us an idea of what you say.
Okay. Hey, Allison, it's Kim. I hope you're great. I just wanted to let you know I'm out here working hard. If you know anybody buying or selling a home, please pass my name along. Have a great day. That's all it says. And then I copy and paste it to 100 other people. But it's so personal, and they always text back. Like it's not a blanket text where you get it on Valentine's Day where everybody gets it, right? It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll answer you thinking that you texted me. So I didn't. But that is, that whole key phrase is, if you know anybody buying or selling a home, write this down, please pass my name along. And I will work hard for your referrals. That humbleness about you makes people want to help you, and they will pass your name along. Everybody on this panel, I feel, is humble.
Yeah, I mean, Mike and I have this conversation all the time. It's like, I've been around here a long time. I think basically Mike and John have been here longer than me. And I've seen agents come through here and they lose their humility. They start thinking it's the hottest thing on the planet. And I will guarantee you, every single one of them within 18 to 24 months will come off that pedestal. Something will occur.
Yeah, I gotta touch on that. So Gary said when we were at family reunion, and I might mess it up, but this is the way I say it and it resonates. The most expensive line item on your P&L is your ego.
Yep.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
That's what they say. I'm like, ooh, okay. Yes, sir. Okay.
The most important is listen. This panel is a different style working,
Yeah.
but they are the process. They are the method for completing the goals. Each objective, they go out, they are
It's the
professional, and they working every day. And I like it when you say we not a secret agent. We
Yeah.
need talking to people that we are. We're not being fun, we're really.
How we get there.
Exactly.
Yeah, the process is different, but the goal is the same.
And hiding behind your couch and not going out and doing stuff is not going to get you business.
Yeah.
You know?
Network is your network. Carrie, I apologize. Go ahead.
I love the text message that Kim did, because I started doing it, and it's a great, like, pick me up too, because people do have nice things to say back to you.
They'll always
Don't
refer
have
you.
a referral for you. They're always like, you're my go-to. They always say beautiful, nice things back. So that's been my like, use this thing. But my question is, once you get through your entire database of index cards, what are you writing on the index cards that you texted them?
No, I don't have time.
And do you ever change up your text message once you
Like
get through it? You get to the next
Yeah.
slide?
Yes and no.
What's
So
the next
it
message?
takes me a couple of months to get through them,
Mhm.
right? So my next thing is a handwritten note. And if
Okay.
you know me, that is my everything.
Okay,
And those take a long time. Sometimes I'll hire like a high school girl to write them if I tell her, but it has the same overall message, because it's been 2 months, and it says, hey, working hard, work so hard for your referrals. That's a big one that I say in there. And the handwritten notes mean a lot. I went to Lizard Thicket and bought a candle recently for a friend and had a nice exchange with the girl. I got a handwritten note from the girl that said, thanks for buying the candle. I hope your friend had a great birthday. Do you think I'm gonna go back in there and shop again? Absolutely. So it doesn't matter what it says. It doesn't matter if you have bad handwriting. It's genuine. And that's where you want to be. Like, if you know the person, I hope Lily's doing great. So happy to see your new puppy on social media. Don't forget to refer me, I'll work hard, like spin it. Because the handwritten notes, you're able to do that with, make it just a little bit different.
So what I know and what I hear is you have a lot of business going on. So my question for the whole panel, and I'll start down in Angelica, then Lilibeth and bring it to the, around.
Okay.
And so Angelica, leverage the who in your world is helping you do these things. Do you have leverage in your business?
Definitely, definitely.
Who-
I need to have it. If not, we can, if we want to grow, that is why I create a team, not just for my business, even for the business of all of the agents who share the team with me. If we want to go high, we can do it. But if everybody is helping you to go, it's gonna be easy and faster. I have a lot of people here and even in my team helping me with everything. But I can say leverage. You are asking me for one name.
You can use one. I mean, I see Emily sitting right there. So I'm kind of like,
Emily is one of the, Emily Javier. I have Jorali, who is not here, but
Right.
she is my everything and they know it. And she's the everything for everybody in the team. And it's not just the who. I can think in letters like the way you see how you want to go. And not just in one people to do something.
Right.
Can I explain me?
Yeah.
Everybody does something different, but everybody impulse to the rest to go better.
They all know the goal.
Mhm.
So I'm going to follow up with you on a question. So as you joined KW, and we've been talking about scaling, you've expanded. Can you tell how many agents you have right now working while you're on this panel in Florida?
Here in Georgia, we are 10. In Florida, we are 4 there and 4 here. But we are going back.
It's pretty awesome. Congrats.
Thank you.
Lilibeth, same to you.
Okay, my goal, on my level in this moment, I have a lot, but right now, in short time for me, is third, another Lilibeth. This is my goal. Because when I have had in different brokers, I say, okay, I'm tired because always I'm only person for working to my production. I need another team, not a team for different agent, but different goal, different person in my team. When Enrique spoke with me about Keller Williams, I said, this is my new way. Because I need buyer agent, listing agent, showing assistant, blah, 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 blah. But my goal is there's another person, and my person will be CEO to my goal. This is my goal.
And we have been able to help you with that, and we've been working on it.
Yeah. Right now I have 4 people in my team, different to the assistant and the administration personnel. I have 4 realtors right now.
And it's truly a family affair with you as well.
Yes.
Ruben is with you, your daughter is with you. I think that's
Yeah.
most important. Look,
Yeah, this is my goal.
I think it's awesome. All right, thank you. David,
For us, I have an executive assistant, Suzanne, who a lot of y'all know. We're a little bit different setup. It's not the typical 9 to 5 how she works. It works for us, is that she's got pretty much her own schedule, even though it's pretty much 9 to 5, but also what's nice is is if I'm out at, let's say, 2 o'clock on Sunday afternoon and I need some help to her, a lot of times with the assistants, you don't have them on the weekend. I can call her, text her, whatever, say, hey, could you look up such, you call this, whatever, and it works out well for us. But if she needs to be at something for her daughter who's at Alabama, that works also, but she's still working from there in addition. In addition, we have Cam, who is an agent on the team, and I consider that a leverage piece because I was down in Orlando last week. And he went out with a client that I've been working with on the commercial side, showing warehouses and everything. And we're signing off on a 10,000 square foot warehouse deal on one of the pieces that he went to go look at last week. And they're about to blow their heads off to get the thing done, but it wouldn't have happened if I didn't have that leverage to be able to do it. And honestly, I'm going to consider a third piece. Leverage is coaching. I had my coaching call yesterday before I came over to the social stuff, and that's a piece that has built up. A couple of years ago, I mentioned, I looked at what my number was when I started coaching and what my number is now, and cumulatively, I've earned about $2 million more in income than what I would have, or GCI from where I started at that point, for the investment of about $150,000. So to me, I consider that a leverage.
Not a bad rate of return.
No.
Not a bad. Not at all. Kimberly, I see Hannah back there, so.
Hannah's our office manager and is the whole thing behind. But I'll tell you guys, if you get to 6 or 7 million, that's kind of a cap that it's time to get an assistant. And I went from 8 million to 14 million the year I hired my assistant. And I was scared to death because I was afraid I couldn't pay her. But believe me,
Which is a common fear.
yes, and so you shouldn't be afraid because it makes you work harder too. Like I said, my goal is for Hannah to make over 100, and now we're at 35 million. And you have to find somebody that works for you. Like, I'm awful to work for, horrible. I text her at 11:30 at night. So you do have to find somebody who kind of loves you, I guess. And yeah, and so she's amazing, but we've gone from 23 million to probably 35 million with upgrading our office manager. I don't mean that in a bad way, but she's just really good. And so she's a lot of the reason that we are doing the volume that we're doing.
And I want to go back, touch point you said, you were fearful of hiring somebody.
Yeah.
I was the exact same way. I was that way about coaching, and I was that way about hiring an assistant. So on the coaching side of it, I knew this agent, Heather Lamb, out in Oklahoma, and I talked to her about it. And at the time it was breakthrough coaching, which is every 2 weeks. She said, how much is that? I said, about $5,000. And I look at everything in metrics. Can you do what's your average commission at that time in Atlanta? It was around 6,500. She said, can you do one more deal a year? I said, yes. And she said, then do it. Okay. I ended up doing 12 more deals that year. About 9 months into it, I started thinking about going into mastery, which is $1,000 a month. But I will tell you guys what's really nice, like Mega Camp and Family Reunion, you got a hotel room. You're not at a battle. Your tickets are paid for through coaching. So while Family Reunion has gone from, was it $750 to $1,200? My coaching fee has not gone up in 13 years. It's the same amount. Anyhow, I went over to, and masterminds also in the lovely city of Pittsburgh this year.
Just don't be afraid to bring somebody on. If you're at 6 million, you're gonna need somebody.
Yeah. And what I was gonna go to that, talking metrics, my coach told me is like, do you have in reserve 3 months worth of salary, to pay somebody? And I said, yes. Then hire somebody, see how it goes, and go from there. And that's exactly what I did.
Yeah.
And I've had an assistant ever since then. I started off with somebody for like 20 hours a week. We're now at 40-hour a week and whatever world we work in. And it's been that way ever since.
And Hannah got her license, which if you're gonna do that, get your assistant.
God, yes.
Get a license, because then they can show houses for you.
Well, everybody's got that license. I give you case for it, so I don't want to, interrupt you guys. Everybody should.
Yeah.
Even their spouses.
I agree. Profit share.
All right, go ahead.
We got our transaction coordinator when we got busy. We're not there with the office manager yet. We're always like, do we need to go there? What do they do specifically for you?
let me ask you a question. Is your transaction coordinator, is it someone like Churchwell Group or is it someone you have for yourself?
So it's it's somebody, she works for other agents, but she's not a virtual group, she's an individual.
We have that too.
Yeah.
I contact me like one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Robin, yeah.
So,
She-
here we are, okay.
Yeah. You need your personal transaction coordinator, assistant, you need buyer agent if you have a lot of transactions. If you have 2 or 3 transactions per month, only you need require a transaction coordinator. Because you need to make money outside. If you plan
Right.
your time and make contract and make call, you can lose the time in that one.
That is the other people you need, the other person you need,
Yeah.
somebody who may call.
Yeah, it depends how many transactions do you have per month?
Well, it's like an empty house. If you hire her, you'll fill her up with furniture very fast.
Yeah,
It doesn't even matter. Thank you.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter. I mean, when Anna came on, we were like, okay, what do we do? And I haven't seen her in a week, but everything's
Yeah.
going, so that's the thing. It doesn't matter what she's gonna do. Her job description is gonna be different. You bring her on, and I promise you, in a week, you'll be like,
you're going like, oh, I don't need to do that anymore.
or yes, and yes.
And the way to look at it, that, a couple points is, think about, and this is one of Mike's favorite things to do, look at it, figure out how much you're earning as a realtor on a per hour basis. It's gonna be over $100. Like for myself, if I build my services, it'd be around $250 to $300 an hour for my services per hour. You're not gonna pay somebody like that. Why are you doing $15 an hour work? We do it, and I constantly am going through my head, okay, should I be really doing this?
Yeah.
Should someone else do it? For us, Suzanne does everything. She does, lays out the marketing, getting that stuff done, and in terms of ordering cards and stuff, and all the transaction coordination, the listing input, things of that sort. The only thing I don't let her do is I don't let her do social media because she sucks at it. And she fully admits to it, to do that. I mean, I literally sent something to my coach one time. He said, this is the most god awful thing I've ever seen in my life. So
We have shrinks.
we have to think that. And to that point is, know what your assistant's strengths or weaknesses are. Do the KPA. When I hired Suzanne, I had 2 people I was looking at, and she told me straight up, she said, I'm from a real estate, again, Suzanne told me that, I'm from a real estate family. I love real estate. I don't want to sell real estate. And literally that KPA, how it's got all the different jobs and everything, anything that was sales oriented, she scored really low. Anything on the administrative side, she scored really high. So that KPA is worth doing, and not that it's the all end all to say all, but it's a good indicator.
All right,
Hi, I'm Sharon Andrews, brand new to the business.
Look at you.
2 months in, and my husband, been doing it for a while. I just gave notice at work, so I'm all. What I'd like to hear from you all, because you are talking my future, and I need some right now information. So for new folks to the business, if each of you could give like 1 or 2 hints, because I don't want to develop bad habits that I have to undo. I want to start off the right way. So I'm hearing about the consistency, I'm hearing about the networking, but if, at this early stage, if there's anything helpful that you can share, I would be great.
I'll start down there. I'll start with Kim.
Okay, I'm so excited. I have a worksheet that's called 10X worksheet, 10 times a week, and we can give it to you. And what it is, it's, now it's 10, it's 5 text messages a day, 5 handwritten notes a day. Help me, 5 phone calls a day. Yeah, that would be great. 5 phone calls a day. And then for the week, 3 social media posts for the week. And 3 face-to-face coffee meetings. So that can be with another agent, that can be with a friend. That gets you out there. And so it is a worksheet, and you literally fill in the names of the people that you've sent that stuff to. So 5 texts, 5 phone messages, 5 phone calls. I mean, 5, what am I doing? 5 calls, 5 handwritten notes. And that's a weekly worksheet, but if you do that in a day, do it the next day. And I'll give you a copy of it, you don't have to get it.
And the cool thing, if you want to create accountability, is have somebody, an accountability partner that you're not friends with, just a person in the office. And you have to turn in that sheet every week. And if you don't, okay, do you call it college football whatsoever?
Yes.
Okay, what team do you hate?
Hey,
I don't love it enough to hate it.
Okay, so let's say University of Alabama. You don't support, okay? If you don't do that sheet, you have to make a $50 donation to that group. If you don't turn it in, well, let's make it more painful. Let's make it $100.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't turn it into your accountability partner, that will keep you consistent.
I don't have to do this to everybody, it's your political party that you don't like, you have to send them 50, 100, you know, whatever price you want on accountability.
I was trying to be non-political.
Yeah. So, you're gonna say that's accountability.
and hand to get it, but if you do this sheet, you'll have more business than you can handle in a month or two. And you guys are, right now, today, you're 40 days away from a paycheck, right? Because of the closing. You gotta get on this today, right now. I mean, you are 40 days away from a paycheck.
Now, I would say another specific action to do, and I've said this to a few people that I don't understand why people don't do this. On open houses, I will fully admit are crapshoots. Sometimes you're gonna get business, sometimes not, but you can build up a database out of it. But we have, was it now 1,500 agents in GLG? Or the Atlanta market?
Yeah.
1,500 in there. Is every Monday, first thing, go on there and say, I'm available to do an open, if you don't have a listing for yourself, I'm available to do an open house. Who can I do an open house for? Because there are people such as Kim that if they build up a stable of open house agents to do stuff. If they see you consistently doing it, they're gonna just call you. But what it does also is it shows you're engaged in the market. One of the things I'll say about Chat North, and I would assume about 2 other market centers, when agents see that you're engaged and consistent in there, it starts pulling stuff to you. It's like a law of attraction type thing to do that.
Lilibeth,
Okay, I agree with Kim. You need first make every day, you can send 5. When I start 8 years ago, I call every day 10 contacts in my phone, every day. You need search, for example, letter A. You need search 10 contacts every day, every day. If you, for example, you call 10 person today and the 10 person only answer your phone 5, the next day you need to call 15 person. Not
You
10.
have to speak to them.
Yes, you need to speak with 10 people every day. Did you do that?
She's like, oh.
yes, I'm one of those things.
Today, 100 people, but only answer 50. I say, okay, tomorrow you need to call 150 people. That's it. You can send email, text message, call, but every day, every single day until Saturday. Okay? Monday to Saturday.
I love that.
Like I
Angelica,
was saying, you have to start to call your circle. You have to start with the people who love you because they are the first who want to support you. But you need to know you are and believe you are a superstar agent. Even when you don't know anything, you haven't sold a home, you haven't been in an open house, you haven't do anything. You are the right people to start to work with everybody. So talk to everybody. Are you in the line of the supermarket or to go to the next person to you and say, hey, how are you? And don't say, I can help you to, don't start to sell at the first month. Start to talk and listen carefully what everybody says. when you empathize with that person, start to talk about real estate.
So we're doing another giveaway, and the giveaway for this hour is going to be to Hannah. Because what I saw was, sorry, Kim, David will buy you one. We're gonna give her the book because she just shared their system that they use to build their success. And I think that's big, and we give, yeah, that, and all that you get.
Did everybody get one? Do you have enough coffee?
Thanks, Hannah.
Wow, that was
So, let's be going. Yes, sir, Kushner.
All right, so since we're reminiscing on about our early days, I want each of you guys to think about if you could go back in time in your business, what you would change or improve on knowing what you know now.
Oh, good question.
Oh, good question.
Okay, I have 31 years in real estate, which is my country and this country here. I'm thinking, why if I can't change anything, I change first my mind. If you change your mind, everything is possible in your life, everything. If you repeat every day, I can do it, I can do it, I can the best person every day, you can do it. When I arrived in this country, never speak English, never in my life, because I'm from Venezuela only speaks Spanish. But when I arrived in this country, I say, I can't, because it's hard. I had 40 years, and every day I'm trying. If you repeat that every day, you can do it. This is only I can change in my life, my mind.
Hey, my drop on that one. Angelica.
Definitely yes, the way I think, because now I'm more consciousness, have more consciousness. I don't think about what I'm going to do. I start with now and start to create what I'm going to do. I mean, create it from now. Believe in myself. That is the first thing. And being in Keller Williams.
Me too.
Start with Keller Williams.
Yeah.
Now I know more things that it's helpful for me and for my team. Before we started with, if something brings, we overcome and go to the next. We don't have, at the beginning, we don't have a way to do it. We start to creating as we can. Right now, we have a lot of people who can help you out to create the goal, to get to the goal you created. And yes, be consciousness, be focused, and really understand and know what you want and go for it.
And then, you know, that Kairos, her team, and Angelica has her own magazine, so you have to go through that really good stuff.
Okay.
Kim, if you had to start all over again.
I would have hired an assistant 2 years before I did it.
Yeah.
100% would have hired somebody sooner. That's it. I mean, I was exhausted by the time I cried uncle.
Yeah,
Why are you looking at me like that?
because I was going to change, you said 6 to 7 million,
Yeah,
and,
at 6, I was losing business at 6 million.
that's why I was not going to do this out publicly, but I will go public now with this. I'm gonna challenge that sooner than that. People want to ask how I sold 42 homes in the first 12 months of the business. I never touched a computer. One time, I sat in that room right there 20 years ago, and it took out on this for 2 hours. So never again. I have to do that. Well, that's why I do it.
Yeah, I know.
That's why you ever get an email from me. That's why, because I know my one thing, my 20%, I stay in that. Just like you said about your assistant, I know my strengths and I definitely know my weaknesses. And I don't work on my weaknesses, I work on my strengths and I hire out the who for my weaknesses. So what would you do? What else did you do differently? Got anything else?
No,
You should have said, I would have gotten into this with Motor before someone else.
Oh, good point. Oh, yes, I would have, should have gone, never, I should have skipped for something.
It's okay, it's okay.
You have to kiss a frog and find your friend.
Oh, gee. Sorry. What would you do differently?
Well, now that she does that. So I'm a little bit different, and having been in coaching for a long time, I probably would have leveraged out to like, let's say a transaction for like Churchwell or something at first. They didn't really exist when I first started that much, but I would have gotten a coach first. I would have had a coach who would have beat me across the head not to, and I'm being honest here, not to spend $10,000 on advertising on the billboard at Norcross High School football games.
Do you remember the guy that?
I know, just be quiet. And, you know, and I really haven't done this, but doing the $29.99 a month, you know, get this, get that. Not to say that there aren't some that are good, and I have those, but I've seen agents who will shut $29.99 a month themselves to death. You
What is
know,
that?
like, you know, the recurring subscription, you know, for doing that.
Listen, if you're gonna deliver the baby, you gotta have somebody to catch the baby, right? You gotta hire. You can have the assistant first, it, with nothing, like, you can't get so busy and then say, you do it when you're not busy.
Yeah, and I'm not saying to do that. I'm saying it's like, it's almost like baby steps. Like you're saying go straight to the assistant. For me personally,
Oh.
I wish I'd had the coach and then the ancillary services of, let's say, Amanda Churchwell to help with that point. And then eventually it would have gone there. I just think for myself, having somebody who is, and I work with coaches in a different way than some people do. I need them on a consultative basis. I don't want someone screaming at me, why didn't you make 100 this or whatever? I need, it's like, okay, how do we get from here to here? Carrie and I've had those conversations. To do that. So that's why I was saying on coaching, you know, from that regard. And for me paying those coaching fees and the access I've got to going to family reunion and mega camp and masterminds, and the agents who I've gotten to know there have more than paid themselves out over 17 years. You know, to do those
And I
things.
had a transaction coordinator first, she's still with us 9 years later,
Yep.
so we did start with her.
Right, but no, I know you're.
Yes. The answers?
Good. That's good. So, just a couple things. One, I just want to say thank you guys for being here this morning. I appreciate you putting this together. This information is phenomenal. One of my ahas is that you guys all think big, aim high, and act bold. Peace and love, Cat. And, you know, just being so open, just to be able to share. And I have a question for you. Like, did you do 100, with the full 100 every day? That's phenomenal. How many people do you have making those calls?
Oh, no, I have 2 people right now, but before I have only 1. She can make, for example, 60 for people and they remain every single day. When I haven't time for call, I need to call that people and the next day. But every single day you need to call 100 people. Every single day. Right now I have 2 people, but before it was just 1, and me.
But you're doing that on the basis of 5,000.
Yeah.
So what I would say is, okay, if you're at where you have 400 in your database, I mean, proration it.
Yeah.
Still build your big focus on that is building that. database.
Yes, sorry.
Joe.
So I'm kind of curious, if you've got that many people making the calls for you, since you can't be personal and use the FORD program we use, what's the script in the sense that they use when they call on your behalf?
What do they say?
The system? No, the person, okay, only you need to say, hey, how are you, good morning, whatever. I'm talking about from Lilibeth Moron. I need to know if you want to buy the house or if you want list your house. That's it. And after you can speak with the person, depends the person say. And that's it, it's simple. It's simple.
Numbers.
Yeah. And when the another assistant call, always I'm together with her and say, okay, you can repeat another call, no say that one. For example, no repeats, no. No repeat can, you can, no, you can buy the house. For example, never you can say no, no use the word no, no more. And every day she can call and always together with her. And right now, no, but in the first tip, you need to start together with that person. Because it's your name.
Keep going.
That's it. Every single day.
Sandy, did you have any questions?
Well, that's
Yeah.
kind of where I was going with that, because if you're not making the call, how do you make that person feel special, right? Because that's kind of the goal of the call, personal touch.
For example, I put in that person my same mind. If that person is different to me, she can go,
Sure.
she or he. Right now it's two girls, but I can both. This is not my goal, go boys and girls. But if that person has the same mind, to me, it's perfect. Because only I need to give the speech. I say, okay, that speech is my speech, but you can do it when you want. But never use that word that I write that word she can use, never in her life.
Do you have some people in your database that only you will call?
Yes.
So I'm gonna touch on something
Absolutely, yes.
really quick. Lilibeth said she's been here 8 years, no English. Angelica and I had a nice coming to Jesus conversation just now. I told her, don't ever say this to me again, because her English, she feels is, maybe not like mine, I don't know. And I said, you don't say that to me ever again. You speak very fluent English. What I want to tell you, both of you, I'm proud of you, that 8 years ago, imagine coming to this country and not knowing, and then in 8 years, you're dominating the market, like you're thinking $2.4 million in GCI, and you're just started. I would say about Lilibeth right now as well. So when we brought her here, she went to Family Union. Day one, I didn't even know she was signed up yet. I did not pay for her to go. You know, you paid and they were, no. Has anybody met the president of this company, been in the company with him? Yeah, I knew none of y'all. Mark King, you've been with Mark King personally, one-on-one?
Not on one-on-one in a group.
You've been with the company for 20 years.
Amazing.
He's never been with him. First thing I did, she's with him and have an opportunity, because she took that, and she took Ruben as well, her husband, and on her own dime, and wanted to know what our company had to offer, and they got to be with the president. So I want to welcome you to, what I do know, is your English is awesome.
Yes.
Okay? What I do know in the next stats, the next 10 years, everyone's from listen, 10 years, 70% of new home buyers will be bilingual.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna challenge you all. You just gotta challenge 8 years. And she's pulling, you see her mind, and you see where she's going, that all of us, to be able to communicate. And I have to challenge my own self, because here I am hiring, and I brought the who, Enrique in my role, because I was struggling to get through 2 years of Spanish in high school did not work well for me. But they're consistent with going to their classes and picking up on key words, whether they're making fun of me or not. I mean, I know that you are. It's really neat, and and there's so many that the challenges that I know that each one of them would have. I can go through here and all of the others so great, and you know, oh, they're up here. They're absolutely no different than you are. I can tell you the story I know about each one of them, a story that will blow your mind. So when you say I have this, and we'll say, well, I can tell you, this guy started with zero, maybe it was 0. This one couldn't even afford to get in real estate. Her son hated it. I'll make her cry about this for 5 seconds.
Yep.
And now on multiple properties. See, I got to know them personally. So when you think, oh my God, I can't fathom 34 million, 24, 1 point, whatever. They're human just like you are. But I can tell you one thing they do have right, and they're not going to stop. They're going to keep going. And that's my challenge to all of you. And so I'm going to challenge everyone here. Don't say you're new. No, you're new. You're not new. You took 75 hours. You took this crazy test, and you know people. If this is a people business, you are not in real estate.
Yeah.
You are, all you do is facilitate between a buyer and a seller. You're a great negotiator, a great contractor, but it's people. I look at both, I study all their social media. Big time. Enrique.
Quick thing, both of them. You mentioned the challenge or the language challenge in this case. They could have easily made that an excuse and said, well, because of that, I'm never gonna make it in real estate. And they didn't make it an excuse. So, kudos to both of them.
That's what I always ask people, like, do you know Kim Adair? Do you know Lilibeth McEachern? Do you know Lilibeth? Do you know Angelica? I always ask people all the time, do you know them? And if they don't know you, I'm gonna challenge them to get to know you. And everyone should be doing the same thing. A great motivator, like him or not, hey, he's all about people and it's great. He's always creating social media posts. And I always say your network will equal your net worth. So I want all of you to look at me from now on when I say so, when you're really, because if that's a struggle, every day you have to build upon that. Make your calls and build upon that.
Yeah.
It's not an either or. You're right now unemployed, every single one of you. Unless you have a closing today. Am I got a closing today? Today. So we were, I have a closing, so excuse me. Does that make sense? All right, okay. I need some more questions. You've got a panel over here. Yes, ma'am.
For you starting this business, when you start or in real estate, the time is the buyer and the seller. You need to work every single day. Every single day. When you say, okay, I want real estate, my ask for that person is you need to love your time and when you start. After you can say, okay, I can work Sunday, I can work only 9 to 6. But when you start, you need focus. I need to work every single day. Every single day. I have 3 years not showing more houses, but when I start, I work Monday to Sunday. My husband drives the car and make the document showing and everything only my person. But if your focus is real estate, you need work every single day.
I'm gonna add to that. And when I hired Lilibeth, I really didn't know her. But one day I ran into her in the hallway and her staff was not here, and it was after 9 o'clock. And I learned who you were very quickly.
You than me when I moved for Keller Williams. Keller Williams had a lot of information and he studied every single day. But I promised in May, I leave my office 6 p.m. I promise. May. Now because I need to consult my team.
You're telling on yourself. Because when I was saying, your people weren't here at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
So you're there. So she keeps a schedule and she stays on that schedule.
Yeah.
And your hours don't necessarily have to be 9 to 5. Like if you've got children, you can work after they go to bed and do those text messages or those handwritten notes. Your work hours work when they work for you, but you have to put them in.
Everybody has different systems.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a great system on the handwritten notes, and it's actually, and I'm drawing a blank on the woman's name. That breaks my heart because she can credit. She actually will sit there, like she comes to a class and she has a box, and she's handwriting notes or labeling the notes or whatever while in a class, or while she's watching TV at night. I think so many people think, oh my God, all I'm gonna do is work. Well, you're sitting there watching TV, is it really hard to label an envelope while you're sitting there? And that was, you know, so until you have somebody that can do it for you, figure out how you can do it and still have a little bit of a life.
Yeah,
It's the best feeling to put 10 notes in the mailbox.
every day, right? Allison, what's your y'all?
Your text and we've been sitting there with 4 people and someone just responded to my copy letter today.
Right.
And I'm just one right now, and Mike knows this, so this is kind of emotional, but, it's someone that I would not have sent it to. I think I can, I'm like, I can't see it, they did not respond, I can send it.
Right.
I would never have sent this, not said that.
Somebody probably would never call.
So we're gonna talk.
And that's why,
I started in the day.
that's why classes, you take action classes. Take action right there. Because, you know, a lot of times we don't want your phone up or and you're taking action. Because y'all are independent contractors. So I'm gonna write a check, so you're taking action. Give me another question, let's keep this in, 'cause I wanna, and Angelica,
Yes, thinking about that, I understand we have to make some schedules and cut it and cut out. But for me, everybody who knows me knows I woke up very, very early, very, very early. I can say like between 4 and 4:30. And I start to reading and do something. Then I. To work. I work because I love to do it. It's like, my husband always say, he's okay with that because he feels, say to me, don't do that, or stop to read, or stop to see your computer. It's like say to a painter, don't paint, because that is what I love to do. I'm so in love with real estate and of my work that I enjoy very, very much what I do. But if it's something there I don't enjoy, my assistant. I mean, do whatever you like to do without schedule, and what you don't like to do, put it on schedule to do it.
so I have a little phrase for you. I don't live to work. I work to live.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, but it's not working for me.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's do what I love.
It is.
Yes.
Well, anything another people say, I haven't time, I say, what? Your 24 hours is the same to me. I wake up 5 a.m., make exercise every day. I prepare my foods every day for me and my family. I have the same time. What is your time? It's the same to me.
That's the only thing all of you have in common.
Yeah. Always single day and work.
The only thing, there used to be death and taxes, and that is not true.
Yeah, it's not.
If I teach you about wealth, you'll be able to say what that is.
I will say that the people I've always seen who are the most successful are, that have come like all of our stories, coming to a country, not knowing anyone, is somebody who, and I don't mean this in a negative way, is somebody who has a chip on their shoulder. They have something to prove. Not a chip on the shoulders like I'm going to go beat somebody to death, but rather a chip on the shoulder, I've got something to prove. For myself, I did. For y'all, coming to a new country, once, I can do this in doing that. So if you find what you want to prove to yourself or to somebody else and use as a touchstone to keep from a mental aspect, that will help you a great deal. The people that I see, the reality is that, was it 87% of people who get their real estate license are out of the business within 24 months. The ones that are here are the ones who have that chip on the shoulder and keep moving, forward. The reality also is that 94% of the transactions by NAR members is only done by 6% of the NAR members. That's how concentrated, and I will tell you, it's getting even more concentrated. What it is, you want to be part of that 6%. You want a chip on your shoulder, there you go. There it is.
Well, I have to ask you and Kim, what time do you get up? I call her.
8:39.
It's so funny, I heard you.
Before I get up. That's fine, but I go until 10 or 11.
I get up every morning like they did and read.
Uh-uh.
But the chip, like you said, is good, because I had an educator tell my mom that I would amount to nothing.
Yeah, oh, there's stuff out there that'll get you going. You put another agent beside me and tell me they're gonna outsell me. Oh, I'll sell.
I do that all the time. When we leave here, I'm gonna tell David, yeah, I do that all the time.
So I have an idea from us. If, one of the things I think new agents and agents who are in a slump want to know is, what are some marketing ideas? What are some things we can do? Oh, that's. Oh my God.
Yeah, I've been trying to tell you. You know, the thing is.
No, open house agent, right there.
And he's not been in the class in 3 years with me, so, yeah, the bottom line was going on. Turn your phone off.
I'm telling
You know, you can do so many calls, so many handwritten notes, right? So think of, let's throw some ideas out to them. For example, in your neighborhood, you could have a dog parade and sponsor it, or you can have Christmas or Hanukkah light decorating contest for the yard and give away a prize. We did rescue dog blankets. So we sent out notes asking for blankets for dog rescues. And leave it on your porch and we'll come by and get it. But the leave behind that we left when they did a blanket was, the KSA team appreciates you. You have no idea. And now I'm the dog blanket lady. I don't care. They know I sell real estate. So I think we should throw out some ideas for new agents. Would that be something y'all would want? Like, what do we do? For example, go to your vet and see if they'll let you put dog treats in a baggie with your business card on and leave them in the lobby. Or I went to the grocery store one day and said, I'm in a contest. I've got to hand out 20 business cards in 20 minutes. And if I win the contest, I went, nobody else was in the contest but me. But they didn't know that, right? So I handed out 20 business cards. I got a call off that. They thought it was hilarious. And so I think we need to give you guys some tools other than calls and handwritten notes. Christmas lights. Drop pumpkins by in the fall. We're doing an Easter egg hunt. It cost me $1,000 and there are 100 people coming. I mean, maybe not even $1,000 because we got the eggs on Oriental trading or whatever. And we put together a neighborhood Easter egg hunt. So that's another thing. What else do y'all do that would help?
Christmas party.
Oh, I have a big Christmas party. That's my money thing. I invite all my clients and have a really nice Christmas party. And we had 300 people there. And it was fun. Mike came and it was a lot of fun. But I did it at an event venue. It's like a wedding. It's like a wedding. I mean, and we've streamlined it now, but I spent about 15,000, but I'm at a level I can do that, right? And I get 3 listings at least off that. But if you're new, you know, decorate mailboxes or have some kind of contest in your neighborhood. Anybody else?
Yeah, I mean, going off what you're talking about the grocery store,
Yeah.
somebody did a bold is they got the seed packs for flowers such as that and stood in front of Lowe's and handed it out. And I know that they got 2 pieces of business coming from that. I mean, that's a cheap way to do it. The other one, which I've told this to a number of people, is that we have in-house, there's a certain agent that does a magnificent job on garage sales. They do it. They don't even live in the neighborhood anymore that they used to live in. They own a house still there that they rent, but they live in a 750 house neighborhood and they still get business off of doing that. He's got a whole map system. I mean, step-by-step instructions. And I know personally, I'm gonna get very mad now. I know personally, no one's doing it at Peachtree Station.
Yeah, that's it. It's a great garage.
The neighborhood.
Huh?
I said, get your hands off my neighbor.
I told you instead of going to.
$1 lottery scratch off ticket that says wish you luck, and if your database is 200, that'll cost you $200, but you gotta follow up. They need to hear your name 7 times before they'll remember you. So that's a text.
You just gave me an idea. Take your business cards, go buy $50 worth of lottery tickets, $1 one, save one in and give them out.
Yes, or 10
Yeah.
by 10, if you're, yeah.
It's just that. Take action, do that, and everything.
It's exactly what the thing, the framework you use, take action. I can't tell you how many times I've given ideas, I'm not thinking of you, Carrie, but how many times I've given ideas out, and I will watch and see if that person ever follows up on it, and I will guarantee you 9.5 times out of 10, no one will ever do it.
They actually say that 3% of the people that go to classes and do training, like 3% of the people that actually.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you,
Yeah, establishing myself, and next year it's gonna be a mega yard. sale.
with the stabbing, don't do it.
Another good idea, is, I have the doggy poo bag station in my neighborhood. So where you pull a doggy poo bag in your neighborhood, I talked to the HOA, and I put the doggy poo stations in my neighborhood. So every time somebody pulls a poo bag, they think of me. It works, yeah, I mean, it works. And try to sponsor your swim team or your, somebody did a little dog parade, which was really cute, and you walk your dog, or get the kids do a July 4th parade where the kids decorate their bikes, and at the end you have a popsicle truck. I mean, it doesn't matter, it's just getting out there and walk your dog through the neighborhood. You wouldn't believe how many people, if you don't have a dog, walk your cat, or walk.
I think David's right. Who's gonna take action when we leave
Right.
here?
You guys gotta do the work.
Yeah, and this is gonna sound very sarcastic. I remember when I started getting some success, I'd be asked to do something like this. I would be sometimes a little bit reticent in giving out my ideas. I realized I'm gonna give them out, I'm gonna be doing them. It's up to the individual whether or not they're willing to do it.
Dang,
So,
we do. That's why I passed that sheet out. I've got no secrets. Y'all have to do it.
yeah,
And we, on that Venn diagram, have you ever seen when we do that, where you have the Venn diagram, this is your people, this is your people, and then your people, and that small amount in the middle is your crossover. That's it. You
yeah.
have all this space that's your people, that somebody else is not mixed in with.
I agree.
I think the more important, everything is good, but yeah, everything is good. But if you need to improve your business, you need to be careful with the circle of friends and be careful with the people you work. This is for me is more important, it's not negotiable. Which is the lender, which is the people, and if you be careful with that one, I think is your investment.
And I would say, when you're looking at, talking about marketing, look at marketing in 2 different camps. Or hunting and farming. There's proactive marketing and there's reactive marketing. Those are 2 different concepts.
Yeah.
Proactive marketing is going out and doing the open house, is calling on the expireds, calling on the FISBOs, going, things that you could almost call networking proactive because you're getting out and doing it. The reactive marketing are the things that work for Kim, such as the poo bags, and things of that sort. Is you keep doing it and you keep doing it consistently and it'll bring back. The point I want you to take away with that, you're gonna lean in more into the reactive marketing, but if you want results faster, quite honestly, the proactive marketing has to occur. And you need to be doing both of them. Where Kim's doing it proactively, she's sending out the 5 notes a day, 5 text messages, things of that sort. And then she's doing the reactive on the other side of those things. When you can get 2 good camps of those set up, then that's where the success comes, and consistency in business. Because proactive marketing will get you a bump, but reactive marketing will take you a long way in doing both. And I think people forget that they need to be doing both, not just one.
I always, when I host these classes, I want to make everybody here think a little. And I love everything, and I love what Lilibeth has said here. But I'm gonna challenge everybody in the room. You got a question?
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds, I'm gonna give you, let's give you the floor. Ever have children in here? Did anybody hold them to standards? Yeah. I'm gonna challenge you to look in the mirror tomorrow and don't hold them to the standards anymore. Because if you're not holding yourself to standards, because all they're doing is doing the work. It's really, real estate is very successful, very easy,
Yes.
or very simple. It's just not easy. Because like David said, there's percentages. But I'm gonna challenge you not to hold them to a standard because you're not holding yourself to one. We talked about a coach. You hear her talking about 100 contacts. They come to our country, didn't know any English. It's just standards. And if you're gonna hold yourself, and it's a lifestyle. All of you are here because you want to make money. I'm your leader that's gonna never hide behind it. Yeah, I know Angelica loves it because you like people, I get all that, but I promise you, if I gave her $500 million, we will find another love, right? And then we'll be sitting on the stand. So my challenge is you're all here to figure out what is the stuff that I need to go make a great living so that I got front row seats to the Kansas City Chiefs. Let me go have dinner with Ed Reed. I'm challenging you all to think differently. They quit just going to the bar game and sitting in the 300 section. That video, I said, I'll see the tickets and they're 300. And I just said, oh, awesome, I can't wait. Truly, like, that's not where I'm gonna be sitting, right? And they think differently. Front row, camera on me with my laptop, right? This is a thinking process. Yes, that's how much you got. My challenge you is, don't hold your kids to a standard you don't hold yourself. You're self-employed. And that's why I'm teaming. I come in here really strong nowadays. Because I'm going to challenge these guys when they don't even know the challenge I'm going to put on them. And it will make David's stomach turn.
Yes.
Because I love that.
Oh, yours will turn too.
Stay home.
I just wanted to say,
What's that? What you after that?
yeah, going back to the reactive marketing, I mean, is what company do you use? Because I see your newsletters. Now, I'm trying to build that newsletter that I'm sending out to my clients. Now, did you just put anybody on that campaign?
In terms of who sent it?
Yeah, because I mean, you have, like, I'm doing that and I heard, you know, out of 500 people, if you send a newsletter, you're gonna have people unsubscribe to that, right?
Yes, I have, yes.
Do you kind of like tell them you're gonna send that, so, or you just like,
I asked you.
no, what I like to say is that, like, what company you pay, you know, like,
Sure.
and who do you use? Also, because I want to make sure that that's something that really, if it really works for you, you know, what is the piece of marketing that really works for each of you? Like,
So-
if you're putting money out there, like, what is one piece of marketing that you will say you must do?
I'm gonna start with David. There's one piece of marketing that works for you that you feel you can give advice.
Well, to answer what you're asking about the newsletter, I'll go to that. I just started doing this a couple of months ago. First off, one of the cool things about KW is you never have to create something from scratch. This is the greatest company of rip off and duplicate ever existed. I have never created from scratch a flyer. You know, you use Michael Lewis, you use KW, you use John, Sweet Home Alabama, Sweet Home Atlanta, sorry. That's how I started, with using their flyers. So in the newsletter, I actually got that idea from Mickey. So you know the newsletter that we send out every Sunday?
Yeah.
That's where mine's coming from, is off of that. It's a program called SMORE, SMORE.com. And you can go in there, there's all these different templates and stuff, and there's a free version, which I think she's using that version. There's one that you can go up to 10,000 recipients to get in. I sent out this past month, I sent out to you guys on the commercial side. I send it out to other residential agents in the Atlanta area on the commercial side. And then I send it out to about 500 or so, maybe a little bit less, of agents throughout the country because I'm building that database. Talking about like 10 a day, I'm adding 10 agents a day into that database. So by the end of the year, I'll have over 2,000 people in that database. But I send it out in the middle of the month. And I've gotten, that thing has a 73% open rate.
Wow.
I've been watching it, it's got analytics that go with it.
Is that who you gonna ask for the Oscars or something? Is that?
No, that's a different thing. That's a different thing. So wait for next month for the baseball one. So it's been really interesting, and I've gotten emails back or text messages back from people asking me about the program and stuff like that, but at least, so I know that they're looking at it,
Right,
you
okay.
know, and doing it.
Kim, what piece of marketing advice you give that works?
Handwritten notes. I do a newsletter too, that's great, but my handwritten notes. Well, actually, you know what? The text messages bring in more business that I talked about. 100%.
Yeah, so since you just said that, I'm actually gonna give the last book to Allison, because Allison took action inside of the text message. And, I think she learned that she got people that were saying,
I greatly appreciate that, but Carrie just gave it to me to let me borrow, so give it to someone else, because she let me borrow hers. I haven't, so I really don't know how to have that, because someone new.
Someone new, new.
from, that's what I love, right?
Yeah.
I will tell you all, a little secret. There was actually 4 books. And I asked, and David brought them to you guys. I said, David, I want one of those books, and I want you to sign it to me. And that means the world to me because he's been my business partner for a long time. So unfortunately, y'all don't have 4 to get out. You have 30, and you are not.
I never learned. Oh, I read it on a regular basis.
It's a fun accountability thing.
We have like 10 more minutes, but did you do the marketing already? Yeah, let me go through it. Angelica, what do you do?
I have been talking about social media for me, it has been a close. But adding value, I mean, don't sell and sell. Talk about real estate, add value to you and to your business. Show to everybody that you are a specialist, even if you don't know anything, read before to make a post and do it something different that everybody thinks. It's okay if they are going with another realtor, it's fine, but you are adding value to them. You are showing them how it works.
Love it. Agree. Lilibeth.
Okay, I use social media before newspapers, TV, radio. Used radio for 2 years, but right now my focus changed. I only use commands and social media, and right now for listening with my friends, Enrique say Voyage. This is the name for listening? Bonjour, yeah, that one. And Mojo, Mojo,
Yeah.
for listening.
Right, M-O-J-O.
M-O-J-A.
Oh, Mojo.
Great, thank you. You good?
Huh?
All right. Stephanie.
Do you boost your social media or do you let it grow organically?
I'm sorry,
Do you boost your social media or do you let it grow organically?
well, you have to do both.
And what, out of all the social media you do, what do you get the best return on boosting? Is it like your videos or?
Videos is the best
Okay.
all the time, but it depends what are you talking about and who is your, the target, exactly.
So what do you use mostly? Are you Instagram mostly, Facebook mostly, equal parts? What do you think?
Both, but for Hispanic, Facebook is
It's better.
better than Instagram. I use Instagram all the time. I make videos, I make lives, I make everything. I interview other persons in, in the same real estate business. I make magazine, I make a lot of things in social media that people can make you in their mind.
A lot of people don't realize if you post on Instagram, you can automatically.
Yeah.
So let me ask this, go ahead.
How are you making your money?
How?
Yeah, is it like, there's the one that's already made? You just gotta put your name on it, or you?
No.
making it?
From scratch.
Yeah.
I have specialists in each area of my magazine that write all the articles. I haven't been there writing because I want people seeing the magazine or read the magazine can feel it's not for me, for publicity for me.
Right,
And everybody can write there, everybody can make their publicity there. And I started the beginning of the year with every edition I'm going to do with like a concept. For the last, it was taxes and we created everything on it. But not just for business, I have a section for family. I have a kid with autism and that is very important to me.
yeah.
And I have a whole section for autism. So you can start to see and read there a lot of things related to the family and specialized in real estate.
Monthly,
No, bi-monthly.
bi-monthly,
Uh-huh.
and where are you printing them?
I think with a company, it's Paper is the name. I can share with you if you need it.
So my challenge, Chicago, my challenge on night, what is today?
Friday.
You're going home with their spouse and having wine. Okay. I'm going to challenge you. It is Friday night.
Okay, go
I have an event tonight and they said, oh, you and your wife to come. I said, it's great, but I need to bring 8 friends of mine. Those are clients that are gonna be there. So when you sit at home and drink wine together, it is fantastic, because you need husband and wife time, I get it, partner time, whatever you get, right? But I'm gonna challenge you, sitting at home is not where the people are. You gotta go to the people. And this weekend is a great opportunity to go to people, the people gonna be drinking, St. Patrick's Day, right? And you might have a great tagline or something with your business card or something. And I'm gonna challenge y'all just to have that thinking. Like she did 5 texts and got, like, what is your goal tonight? When I leave this place every day, I will tell y'all, my goal is to get a lead. Every day I leave this office, every day. Whether it be the gym, whether it be when we do dinner, whether it be Thursday, May, you'll find me, my goal is always to find a lead. What is your goal? But if you go home and shut your garage, well,
Yeah, that's fine.
it's fine, but you're gonna, you remember your network equals your network.
Yeah.
So, and this is the business, you're always good, always bring your name back. And you say, oh, I forgot to take it off, I don't, whatever.
Yeah.
And you'll eventually, and they will ask you great questions, and these are your business partners. We got a few more seconds, I need to bring our vendor up here, and then I have a challenge for you. Yep, I have a challenge for all 4 of you. So one more question. Yeah, Carl.
How much time do you all spend reading with any good book recommendations?
Not bad. What?
I read a lot of Robert Kiyosaki. That's my
Me too.
preferred. And even reach that whichever author is the best.
You actually stole my thunder. Go ahead. Robert Kiyosaki, I got all out, great question, but I'm gonna ask all of you, what are you reading right now? And in bold, we learned your growth plan.
Okay, right now, I read a book, the Keller Williams, Real.
Yeah, that's right, the real estate investor book, y'all, love it. Y'all still doing my question. Hello, challenge,
I'm reading a book called Funny Farm.
Funny Farm,
I have to pull away from work sometimes.
the Funny Farm.
It's about a lady who has a dog rescue.
I think that's your passion, your give back. Okay, I love that.
I've actually started back for my annual reading of the MREA book, but what I read on it, it's not really a book, it's actually a magazine called Success Magazine. And or success.com, it's over 140 years old publication. And when you get those email newsletters on Sunday, those articles, that's coming off of there. So it's just a variety of different subjects, and it's very entrepreneur based.
So it's interesting, we're talking about this right now, and the two things that happened that come to my mind. Lilibeth said about thinking, you gotta think it. And I'm gonna challenge you to ink it, gross it, net it. Now, the last thing you just said about the dog, give it away. Have a purpose. Where's your money going? Okay, so before we're in here, I'm gonna bring up to a challenge, because I love each and every one of you. This question, I hope everybody understands this question, and it's not in a bad way. But if you couldn't sell real estate today, because David mentioned this in the last 2 hours about money per hour. Y'all know that it's $114 an hour will make you $1 million in a year. Please don't tell me 40 hours, because you have a 24-hour clock. So every hour and 24 hours at $114, you make $1 million a year. Okay? I'm gonna ask y'all, if you could not physically sell real estate today, how much money is coming into your bank account?
Today,
Seriously?
I just went ahead and I knew that was a crazy question, but here's what my challenge is I have a challenge to the room. And this is my new thing, because real estate brokers are not asking the question of retirement and or retirement. There will be a day you are no longer, now I'm on 77, she did 14 million last year. So I get it. You can sell forever.
She's 77 now.
She's 76. Don't tell her I just said that. She'll be 77 this year. Yeah.
And if you haven't met his mom, she is a rock star.
Well, you'll see what
She is, that's who I'm gonna be when I'm 70.
I had this conversation with my mother about wealth, right? I want my mom to spend all her money now, but when she leaves this earth to go with her maker, I want her to have a net worth that's so crazy that me and my brother never work again. I'm just kidding. You saw my social media, that sunrise is my mother's house. So let me tell you this. I'm asking this question, and it's really to hit David, because I love him with all my heart. I want you guys to make money. I think that's fantastic. But I didn't realize that y'all know the largest landowner is McDonald's. And I know that y'all think Chick-fil-A sells more better sandwiches than McDonald's. But McDonald's does more real estate, right? My challenge to everybody in the room, so I'm gonna just change my question, is to building wealth. Angelica put me with a gentleman just recently. We were working on building massive wealth. And you're in the real estate sector. And so when you go on an appointment, it should be, do I buy this house first? Because you're the first buyer, or do I list this house? I asked Dave Cardwell the other day, how many homes do you own? 8. So y'all didn't hear him quite clearly.
8, 7 of them are paid for.
So here's what I would say to y'all. I think it's wonderful the income we're bringing. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. My challenge to this table is that right there. Is to build massive wealth. I know this one just bought, and how much will your Airbnb make you this year?
60,000.
I will tell you, 2.4 impresses me, $1 million a year. That really impresses me. Why? Because you did nothing but just you have a depreciated asset that you can write from Uncle Sam.
Yes.
You have an asset that is appreciating and someone else is paying your mortgage.
And the only reason it stops at 60,000 is because I stop it there. It covers the mortgage for the year. I only rent it for the summer.
And then you use it for the rest of the time
Yeah.
to make an impact on your family.
Oh, heck yes.
Angelica, how many do you own any real estate outside your?
I have, outside my home, I have an Airbnb just bought it, and a house for rent.
So you have a short-term and a long-term rental.
Yes.
I'm gonna challenge you to build up a portfolio even bigger.
Yes.
And I've never asked you, Lily, but I have no idea what I'm about to ask.
okay. We have, because my business is my family, we have cryptos, investment property, we have 10 right now. We have rental property, 14 right now, and real estate. And that's it.
Wow.
That's it?
And my husband say in 2 years, we need to have 100 property and rent. This is the goal.
I hope everybody got something on the question I just asked.
I remember, my husband is investor.
I know it
And
is.
always hears things with me and my daughters. Okay, we have right now that one, but in 2 years, we need this one.
So when I left home, the one word that I said was legacy piece. I'm talking about
Yeah.
myself.
I have to.
It's a legacy piece, right? Now, don't get me wrong, all this income we make, I spend every dollar. I don't leave anything, any of my kids will get no money. They'll get 10% of my income. I'm a die broke. I'm gonna make them rich. My net worth will make them flat rich, right? And then I have trust that it will cover and they can't go and just spend the money, right? What would you do? Challenge this here. But I challenge y'all because if you can't physically work and things happen, are you building a net worth that's just crazy? And we're bringing a class to all of you have an opportunity. We got Brett Tanner, he owns KW, and he's a KW Wealth, and it's like it's a $1,000 class in Austin, and it's like $150. It's not a promo for them. I just want y'all to know that this is what you do for a living.
Yeah.
And if a market goes up and it's a rental, who cares? Rents are going up.
You have to do the work.
You can depreciate the asset. And that's why I'm gonna go with Angelica. And the last thing is read Rich Dad, whatever, because that will be all you will learn all that. You will learn all that. Okay, look, Kim, who sponsored this and brought us all up. Gonna come down. Hey, let me tell you, I have a secret. I tell the secret a lot. All of my listeners attend North Council. I just found out in the back, I haven't been there 2 years, annual heard my tenant, but that is not true. I just got a warning from the HOA, the trash can was at the front door. I sent her, I said, move the trash can. But in 2 years, you put a home warranty on the piece of property, $75 for someone to come out to the property. She takes with a receipt to her check and takes it off the rent. I am not a plumber, electrician, roofer, I'm nobody. And I don't want to go to that. So take it off the rent, but it's done and you don't call me 1 in the morning. Does that make sense? That's the work, price of gold right there on buying rooms. A lot of the mindset is I don't want to deal with that, but you don't have to. And yet you also can spring rates in. So that's what a home warranty. We have the home warranty specialist right here, and Kelly has brought us lunch, so I will give her a second to talk to y'all, and then we will thank our panelists.
Awesome. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Again, Kelly Lucinda with Q10 Home Buyers Warranty, your home warranty partner and resource. So just wanted to share some benefits that we have to offer for your clients, sellers, or buyers. One, we do have Happy Home walk-up hardware for your buyers. How that works is your buyers have 45 days from the closing date. They either hire somebody to come out to redo all their locks, or they upgrade their hardware. They just have to upload their pay receipt to their homeowner portal, and we're going to mail them a check up to $100. So it's a great closing gift that you can offer to them. We also have a certificate where it could be coming from you. So let me know if you'd like that certificate. We also do monthly payments for the buyers. We do love our veterans, our active military. If your buyer is a veteran or active military, we do give a discount off the base plan. We also do have a client purchase program where your buyers can take advantage of our appliance discount through Whirlpool and GE. So after that closing date, they can go and go shopping for brand new appliances because they don't want to wait for the ones that are already in there. For HVAC, we're very well known for our HVAC coverage. For any of your buyers, not for sellers, but for buyers, we have no limit on eligible parts and equipment for the HVAC. We also tier match, we cover compatibility, we have no limit for the refrigerant. So take advantage of 210 and then also complimentary seller coverage. It's free for your sellers. Nothing to do until closing. Only the home closes with a home warranty. But the best thing that you're going to get out of 210 is to get me and my customer service that come along with my package. I am here not only to educate you guys on warranty process and coverage, but I love to talk to your clients. I think it's so important that the clients understand the warranty, the process, expectations, but just to have that peace of mind knowing that they have a local person, they have a local cell phone, if they ever have questions and guidance, or you get me involved in this, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to make you guys look good. So if you have a 210 clearance warranty, I would love to partner with you. It's 23.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you for sponsoring this great. I want to remind you all the great secret class is one focus on getting leads through command. And what that said, right? We use command. And the last thing I want to do is thank this wonderful panel for coming today on your time. Now.
Can I just tell you something? We got to pull the fire under my ass.